Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, the British Challenge, with me, Pug Gaming. So I've been holding off this final episode of this town for creating the high street for a little while, just whilst I took my time in doing the detailing work around the housing estates beyond this. Like I said in my last episode, I didn't want to bore you with a 3 or 4 hour worth of time lapsing of me just detailing the housing estates. It would have been a pointless and boring video in my opinion. But yeah, now let's move on to the town. So I wanted to find something a little different for this area. Took me a little while to work out what flooring to use. Didn't want to keep the concrete, it looked a little bit boring, a little bit not like a town that I'm used to in the UK anyway. So I decided to use the same as what I used on the market area, which I think looks really good. The only downside to it is it does flicker sometimes when you're viewing it from certain angles, which is a bit annoying, but in general the look of it I think works really well. So I wanted to get a bit of foliage in here, sort out a few of the buildings. There's a few that I didn't quite place correctly earlier periods of this build. But I wanted to get some foliage around here, and the way of doing that, I wanted to just add these tree foundation items, whatever you want to class them as, and put a few trees in just to brighten up the area really. And just like with the market square, I wanted to have a little area here which could be classed as a sort of focal area for the town itself. So I chose this corner here, so I was going to just create a sort of a pretty atmosphere here with some flowers. Had a few ideas. I wanted to have a fountain in here as well, but the fountains that I found on the workshop are not the best. But I did manage to find one in the end, and I created a nice little area for this. I'd also found this flower bed item, which works really good. You can pop down the individual flower assets as well, and it does look really good up close. So we're going to jump into a bit of a time lapse now, just while I do a bit more detailing work. We'll catch up in a minute. So you probably noticed as well there's a few additional extra car parks I added. I wanted to fill a few of these concrete gaps up, and I didn't want to keep doing so with sort of assets. I thought of a good idea would be to have a employee car park and a drop off zone for the lorries who would be dropping off the goods to these areas. So as you can probably tell, it did take quite a long time to place all this flooring down. It certainly does give the look that I like to what I was hoping to achieve. It would have been a little bit better if I could have a bit more of a choice But out of the ones that I was able to find on the workshop at short notice, I think these are worthy enough of being placed in this area. Now the difficult part of this was, where did I stop in terms of placing this flooring? Looking from a distance, it looked a little bit bare on the other side where the Morrison shop is, so I thought to myself, I need to get this all around this area. This is the town centre, so you want it to all look pretty much the same, so I decided to do the second high street down here and also cover the Morrison car park with this foundation. Not the actual car park itself, but the surrounding sort of items around it really. Now one thing I've always found hard in my builds is where to end a town. I don't really like the idea of having these block locations and block buildings, etc. So when you look from a distance it looks like it's just a square or rectangle, but it is often quite hard to change that. So I thought I'd just have a little area over here just to end the town centre. It's not often you find a town centre in a corner of a town itself. It's normally central, but we've kind of already done that as well. The marketplace also acts as another sort of central point, but I wanted to add a little bit more over here, a little bit more housing, and also maybe a football ground and sort of tennis court, just to spice things up a little bit over in this corner. So there we have it, the completion of the first town in this British challenge, and I think the town centre ended up pretty much how I was hoping it to. Had to change a few little things in the end, but I think it works really well. I think we've included everything that a town centre would normally have. We've got a cinema there, we've got the shops, got car parking. I think it's done well. It's not too bad. I'll certainly be interested in hearing your thoughts on how you think this went, what you would change, what you'd like to see. My next step now, I'm thinking we're going to have to move into a more of a city approach, which I'm going to be looking to base this on the sort of Milton Keynes, if you're from the UK, the Milton Keynes sort of area. So it's not London based, but it needs a lot of expansion really. We need to build up our capacity here in terms of our people who are living. Need to create a nice couple of commercial zones and just build this up. Let's get this going. And of course, anything you want to see, by all means, let me know. I'm always welcome to new ideas. I've got a lot. I've got a lot of ideas on what I want to be doing in the future of these videos, but I'm always welcome to hear what you guys are thinking I should be doing as well. So we're going to end this video now on an overview of the town we just created, the overview of the whole of the town itself, and I also got some first person views as well. I know a lot of you are asking for a first person sort of look around this town, so here we go. Enjoy, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. All the best.
hurting